Thank you, Kathleen. And now, poets Julia Dinsmore, Gale Allen, and Ben Weiss have been inspired by this year's theme of Enough for All to write the following pieces for this evening. First, Julia Dinsmore, and her poetry is entitled, Julia.
This poem is dedicated to Eliza Erickson. If you have more than enough, it isn't yours.
Thank you, Julia. And now, Gale Allen's poem is a piece that is, in fact, untitled. Gale.
Imagine being infected by a virus that causes homelessness. Your SSI is still pending. No credit, bad credit. Not eligible for government assistance. The foster care age has limit and it has expired. Your mental and your physical health, domestic abuse, sexuality, eviction, discrimination, mood-altering chemicals, unfavorable relationships, not able to meet the income guidelines, no employment, no family or friend support, inmate release, criminal record, etc. If we do not stop this virus from affecting the human race, our nights and days will not be the same. So enough of the meeting and planning and documentation. If I can get a flu shot anywhere, can I get something to stop this virus from affecting the human race? Enough.
Thank you, Gale. Ben Rice's piece is called Enough. Ben.
Y'all hear me? Is the mic on? The gavel sounds. The learned judge has had enough. It's his last day on the bench. Because when you've got car insurance for a 16-year-old, braces and SAT prep courses, $100,000 a year is just not enough. He can make deals for men in suits for 5 times more. And anyway, he's had enough of people like that woman in front of him today for selling her food stamps. She tries to make excuses. How little brother's too skinny for big brother's old clothes, and when the October wind blows 40 degrees, flip-flops just aren't enough. But the gavel sounds. We gave you 5 years of welfare. Now, why wasn't that enough? Maybe some community service will teach you when enough is enough. His sentence complete, the judge drives back to his gated golf course ghetto and tosses the car keys to his son. Their church is serving dinner at the soup kitchen tonight, and his son needs some community service, because to get into the right college these days, grades and SAT scores just aren't enough. He pleads before the judge, do I have to go? Because the judge's son has had enough. Enough of the sight of missing teeth that makes him run his tongue over his braces. Enough of the cake of an English they don't teach at his school. Enough of the smell of no money for laundry, the taste of watery mac and cheese. I'll eat at home, thanks. Enough of the feeling of being young and soft and pale and full of all the wrong information and not so sure that the grace of God that separates him from the shivering little boy in flip-flops isn't just another word, but luck. The minister whispers words of comfort. If it wasn't for the drugs and booze, the kids would have some decent shoes. Judgment is comforting, as long as you're the judge. So the next day, when the little boy strides in with his new shoes paid for with community service, the judge's son says, "You can pay for those. It's clear you don't need to be eating here." The line stops. Because if the judges of the gated golf course ghetto have had enough of the poor have had enough of judgment. And from the line, the gavel's sound, we have had enough. Enough of blame for the scarcity that scared the city into believing that none of us can ever have enough. Enough of shame for our lives that with enough credit checks and Google checks and binoculars and microscopes and 20/20 hindsight are guaranteed to reveal some mistake to justify our children and our children's children's children never having a chance to have enough. Enough of crime that means everything done by us, nothing done to us. Enough of being told there isn't enough in the budget, but that we have enough to give up a little, and a little, and a little, and a little bit more, because the man in the gated golf course ghetto can't possibly be told that he might actually have just a little bit more than enough. The minister leads the judge's son away. The server and the served go back to their ghettos. The judge's son will find some other way to earn his suit, and his father will never have to face anyone who doesn't love him. And some bureaucrat with a microscope will count up the mother's community service, that he won't count the service she's already done. Because your little boy with his new shoes is ready to stride back into 4th grade, and when that's all you have, it's enough. The gavel sounds. We stand. We stand before a jury of our peers in our conviction that we have had enough excuses for social abuses, enough justifications for injustice, enough of pretending there isn't enough for everyone in this state, in this country, on this planet, enough of security systems to protect piles of possessions when you or I will never have enough security until the day that every single one of us has enough. Case closed.
Thank you, Ben. Yolanda Cotterall will now share a story with us entitled Enough for Us All. Yolanda?
There was going to be a big celebration for my son's birthday. My granddaughter, Rebecca, well, she'd helped with the making of tamales before, but this time was to be different. These were going to be her gift for her papa, and they needed to be full and plump as any good tamal should be. Rebecca noticed, as I prepared the meat and the ingredients for the tamales, Rebecca noticed that the pot for the meat was not filled to the top as usual. Oh, she was worried that there was not going to be enough meat to make the tamales nice and fat the way her papa liked them. Oh, Rebecca, don't worry. We'll just make them with a little less meat and there will be enough.